what's up? It's your boy D here from D Scenes. I'm here with your boy Zay Vincent, aka Zay. You know, my son just dropped a new mixtape called Tape 3. Check it out on SoundCloud, feel me? Alright, for your fans here, Zay, just let us know, tell us about yourself.
Well, it's regular shit, bro, Come from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, hip hop orientated, I try to, do my thing, me and my dogs, we ain't nobody special, we just come out, do our thing, make this music, trying to get in positions where we can help other people do things that they want to do, just trying to give back to the community, give back to our people,
What inspired you to make music?
A lot of things I would say, people, situations, if I were to touch I'm break it down, if I were to touch like, people, and I would say my brother, he really inspired me to make music because, my brother, he's a singer, and from young I would always hear him sing and I always hear him, doing his thing. He would always get like, love from the family. Oh, he's a singer, when we have those situations like a little family get-togethers, they always be like, yo, Tommy, sing for us, sing this song, da-da-da. And it'll be on some like as a kid, you want the attention, and just seeing him make the music and shit, hip hop always stood out to me. My mom, she's a big hip hop head. She listens to everything.
From Brooklyn's a hip hop.
Yeah, my mom, she would be playing whether it's Jay or Biggie or even Eminem. And as a kid, I sit back and I would listen to these things and just be like, yo, like what are they saying? Like how are they putting these words together, making them rhyme? Like, and then you would sit back and think about something for a little while. You're like, oh, that's what that means, So me as a person, I like that. I wanted people to look at me and be like, oh, this dude, he's great at this. This is what he do. He makes music. He's an artist. But in terms of situations, what inspired me to make music. I recently had a daughter last December.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. And every time I look at her, I just say to myself, like, I don't want you to grow up and feel the things I felt. Look at stuff that you want and not, you're not able to have it. And I just want to give her the world, So I do this music shit mainly for her,
And like you're an inspiration. You're young. You about 20.
Yeah, 20.
20. You got a daughter, feel me? Not us. It's good to see black families and black people come together as a community, helping each other out, feel me? Doing her life, and I know she may be young, doesn't understand it, but she's proud. She's good to have.
She happy as hell to have me, right?
That's good. But anyways, back to your music. What messages are you portraying in your tape?
Messages, I would say, because when I make my music, I like people to actually listen, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the trap scene, I like, all the beats and all of that, but I like when people really could sit and listen to the words, and, I like to tell people, because I've been through things, I've been through things, I've seen things, I done witnessed a lot of shit happening. So, I like to talk about these things that I did, things that happened in my life. And I like to, put them on a song, tell a story, and I like to show people like, you don't have to do this. This is not what you have to do. Just because I lived this life and I did this or I did that, and you hear me talking about this or that in my music, you don't have to be that way. Because the way I explain it to you, you hear the what would I say, the side effects, the bad things that could come out when you do certain things. Because a lot of people, they don't think about consequences, So I like to just, preach to people that life is really what you make it, have fun and always think about those consequences and the people that, you may affect when, you're dealing with certain things in life.
Alright, what's your favorite tape on the track and why?
Favorite track. There's a couple. It would either have to be a song. I have the second song on the tape. It's called Broke Boys, and it's probably the last song, Prophecy. I like Prophecy mainly because Prophecy, I kind of reach back home. I start speaking about things that happened, when I was younger. Like let me say, there's a line in there because I used to live in the Bronx. You know, I moved to Brooklyn when I was about like 5 years old.
Really?
But yeah, we used to live in the Bronx when I was young, and you know, a lot of things. You know, everybody has their struggles. Everybody went through things. You know, it's a line in that song. It goes, ready for anything you throw down. Landlord locked us out. My mama had to kick the dough down. You know, it's like a little shit like that. You know, when you hear shit like that and you haven't really been through it, it's hard to like really imagine it. Really like feel what someone was feeling. Me, I was little, but you know, as a kid, I always understood things, you know. So like when I see, you know, my mom, you know, breaking the door down because the landlord had locked us out, because you know we got to get our shit, you know, like, you know, it's like, you know, these are things that people, they listen to it, and I want them, you know, I like when people feel shit. Like if you could listen to something and feel it in your, you know, in your soul, like in your body, it's like, it's a great feeling when you can relate to things. So I would say Prophecy. I would say Broke Boys too, though, because it's one of them feel good songs that you could just play in the summer, you know, chilling with your dogs or something, you know. You know, from lines like, yes, I'm a hooligan, come packed with the action, so I came back with the tool again. You know, it's a lot of shit, you know, the wordplay, you know, a lot of wordplay, a lot of you know, just giving back to the old school scene, you know, what hip hop really is and where hip hop really came from. You know, I got my boy Dre on there. He did his thing on there too. But yeah, those would have to be by far my favorite too.
I heard that you know saluted the old school heads. A lot of rappers these days, they don't really take it back to like the old school. They got their new flows. A lot of people call them mumble raps.
Yeah, right.
You know, everybody got their own flow and their own thing. You're doing it how they do it. Feel me? My last question, not really a question but a statement, but you really like having any advice for anybody that's just like you, that's starting out trying to get themselves out there?
You know, I always tell people I'm not really in a position to give advice to people, but what I do tell people, because you know, there's people that's not really where I am. I'm not really nowhere, but I'm in a position to make things happen. But you know what I tell people is like, you know, the first thing is you don't want to wait for nobody, because nobody's gonna hand you anything. You know, I used to honestly, you know, I had friends, you know, I used to wait around, you know, for like older people I knew, you know, people who told me they own this and own that, you know, wait around for them to, you know, tell me they got studio time for me, or tell me they got this show here, this there, and it was never really what, you know, what they told me or what they portrayed it would be. So, you know, I just tell people, like, you gotta, you know, if you really dedicated, because dedication, that's a strong word, you know. If you're really dedicated to what you want to do in life, you really have to get up every day and do nothing but that. I wake up in the morning, first thing I do, I look for beats. You know, I'm looking for beats, trying to get an inspiration, probably roll a L or something, you know, looking for inspiration, you know, trying to find something to talk about, you know, because before I had a studio in my crib, I was paying $100 for 2 hours in the studio. And, you know, I really had to bustle, you know, really had to, you know, I would come out of there in them 2 hours with 3 songs recorded. Because you really have to go up in there and really, you know, do your thing. You really got to use that time. That's $100 for 2 hours, you know, and especially when, you know, we not up there, you know, we still in Brooklyn, we still in the style, you know, so it's like, bread ain't easy to come by unless you hustling or you got a job or, you know, and I've been through all that shit. So it's just like, you have to be dedicated. You have to invest into yourself, into your craft, into what you want to do, because no one's going to give you anything. You know, from the moment I set up my studio in my crib and I started making music, things just been looking up, bro, because I had to help myself. And that's the only way you're going to get somewhere, is if you start helping yourself and not waiting on these people to tell you they could do things for you. Because then you're going to get in a position where you can help people. And that stands out a lot to people. People will start to look up to you because they'll start to see this guy, he's doing his thing. You know, he don't really need people, you know, to train and shit. You know, we in Brooklyn, you know, J train and shit, you know.
Regular.
But yeah, man, you just gotta do your own thing, bro. That's it, really.
You mentioned something earlier that caught my attention. You said your boy Dre featured on the track. Is it just you making music solo, or is it a group of you?
Nah, it's actually a group. I was actually a part of a group before called Zodiac. but you know, things didn't really work out. You know, much respect to them. You know, but you know, people grow apart. You know, and that leaded me to create my own crew. It's called Us. You know, it's not spelt like regular us, US. It's more so spelt like the suffix that you would attach at the ends of words like danger, to create dangerous, or ambitious, you know, spontaneous. And you know, I call it Us because it's like we can be all of that. We could be spontaneous, we could be dangerous, we could be ambitious. But at the end of the day, it's just us. But yeah, man, it's just us as a group. You know, because we know, you know, one man can't do it alone. You know, I mean, he could, but who knows how long that's gonna take. You know, as a crew, you know, we come together with all our different minds and our different ideas, and you know, shit gets done way better. Hold on, give me a second.
So it seems like Zay's pretty busy. He's about to go hit the studio, make another track. But as I said before, it's your boy D here from D Scenes. Check out my man Zay Vincent. Check out his new mixtape. Drop Tape 3. D Scenes, we out.
Let me take y'all. Forbidden Zone. Signed as waiver first, nigga, to each his own. I speak a speech that's kept from us and a chemist scroll. Lock you down in a dungeon, proceed to beat your bones. Overdosing on marijuana, how you do that? Became accustomed to hate my niggas so you could do that. Fucking racist pricks and arrow Nazis at the door. We can't call this shit the land of the free anymore.